Okay, welcome everyone. It is July 22nd, 2025. It is the Commissioners' 2 o'clock consent agenda meeting. Let the record reflect that we have 4 commissioners that are present. Commissioner Waldorf is on Zoom. Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Kearns, and Commissioner Cuny are here in the hearing room. We did not receive any written testimony for items on today's agenda, and we did have a by leave item that we are going to not be taking today. There's some additional items that have come to our attention, and I will kick it over to our attorney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The by leave agenda item has some public disclosure commission concerns regarding a ballot initiative, so I am requesting that we strike the by leave agenda item today.
Okay, thank you. So with that, then, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that will take us then to our open public forum, and I have 2 people that have signed up for open public forum. So we will start with Larry Ike.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. If you just want to state your name.
Okay. Larry Ike, P.O. Box 416, 9 Mile Falls, Washington.
Thank you, and then you'll have 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, this is basically a continuation from last week. Last week I was here talking about building codes and planning and questioning how the county could give a permit to allow 2 houses to be built on 1 lot. And I didn't get through all of that, so that's what I'm going to talk about here today. The permit was originally issued, the structure was started. The county came out and looked at it after neighbors complained. They decided, well, maybe it isn't a shop with a bathroom. Maybe it's a sleeping unit. And they headed down that path. That didn't work. Then later they went out and changed it to a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, laundry room, great room, kitchenette, 2nd floor, essentially a home, but still limiting the use of the structure to farm and hay storage, which doesn't make any sense at all. Again, how can a 1,230 square foot home be issued for a lot on a lot that already has a house on it? There's no codes in place that I can find anywhere, and nobody's provided me with those. I've asked for it over and over, and nobody's given me any reasoning for it. It's a conflict of the subdivision, the legal requirements, and the planning codes. The covenants for the property, everything else still is not falling in suit for what is being built out there. Again, all I'm asking for is, can somebody provide me with an explanation of why this is being built and being allowed to be built? Listing the codes that support the 2 homes on 1 lot, the explanation of how a kitchenette makes this legal versus a kitchen versus a kitchenette, explanation of how the legal plat notes and covenants are discounted and ignored. We have covenants in the neighborhood that say you can't do that, yet it's being done. Property owners or constituents across the county, I'm sure would be very interested to hear that the safeguards they thought were in place, being the legal plat, the requirements for the plat, the covenants for their neighborhood, their property, their investment, are just being ignored and just being permitted around without any input from the property owners, and I'm sure they would be interested in that. This particular building and case should never have been permitted to be there, and it doesn't meet any requirements for being there that anybody's provided me with. And if you have any questions or need additional information, I have plenty more files on it. It's been ongoing for about 3 months now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And we do have your letter
Yes.
with us, so I'm hoping that we'll, look at
Okay.
talk to the planning and building department
Okay.
and see what's
Look
going
forward to
on.
a response.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Next, we have Becky Duckerhoff.
The following is from a white paper released in 2021. The housing crisis in the Spokane region has reached a critical level and is threatening the stability of our region. That is the consensus of a panel of national and regional economists and housing experts who came together for a Spokane Region Housing Needs Summit hosted by the Spokane Association of Realtors. Among the key findings, the Spokane area's housing supply is severe, with a 94% reduction in available homes for sale since 2010. A lack of inventory has escalated the median home price in Spokane County 66.8% since 2015, with a median home increase from $179,000 in 2016 to over $300,000 in 2020. From 2010 to 2019, the Spokane region underbuilt approximately 32,000 housing units to meet demand. This has resulted in lost economic opportunity, $6 billion in wages and employment since 2010, $1.1 billion in immediate and ongoing tax revenues. A lack of inventory has led to thousands of families renting who cannot find a place to buy. Vacancies in regional rentals remains at a dangerous level of around 1%. The biggest lack of inventory lies in entry-level or workforce housing. From personal health to family stress to student performance in school to increased levels of homelessness, Spokane's lack of housing has triggered a severe impact on the health of our citizens, especially among minorities and our youth. Spokane has high levels of cost-burdened families spending more of their income on shelter than most similar cities in the state and the U.S. The Spokane region is among the top places to move in the country, with expected growth of 48,000 more people by the year 2030. Many new home buyers are migrating from larger West Coast markets, adding 8,000 to 14,000 new residents annually. The market has shifted, with bulk of new homes in our region now built across the border in Idaho. Local public policy has resulted in the lack of housing production. I am here today to ask the county commissioners to enact what is commonly referred to as a 1590 tax. This ordinance, which amended RCW 82.14.530, allows a county legislative authority to impose a sales and use tax not to exceed 1/10% of the selling price in the case of a sales tax or value of the article used in case of a use tax. This will allow the county to create more homes for the unsheltered. At least 60% of that money must be used for the construction of housing and related services. The balance must be used for the operation, delivery, or services related to housing. I would like to note that Commissioner French was one of the contributors to that white report. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we have removed the by leave item, I have someone who is going to speak to that, and since it's no longer on the agenda, I will have Eric Lowe.
Good afternoon. I had a chance to watch this morning's briefing session, and I'm Eric Lowe, Spokane Valley. I'm co-executive director of Spokane Reimagined, and I want to express our deep concern about the potential of selling, the county purchasing the STA property at the fairgrounds because numerous reasons, but first of all, based on conversations or the recommendation from the Fair and Expo Center Advisory Board, they wanted to see a visualization that was at least 2/3 parking. This to me looks like the attempt to use the Together Spokane proposal to backdoor a way into getting more parking for the Fair and Expo Center. Fair and Expo Center should have transit service first and foremost. We shouldn't be continuing to structure parking there. And the bigger concern is that this would foreclose the opportunity for Spokane Transit Authority to eventually provide commuter rail service for the region. The parcel between the fairgrounds and the, sorry, I didn't have a chance to write anything. Commissioner Kearnsey will get something on Thursday. The parcel between the fairgrounds and the Union Pacific rail yard is the perfect location for a staging and maintenance center for eventual commuter rail service. Spokane Transit Authority owns 3 large parcels along Union Pacific rights-of-way, Miraboo Transit Center, this parcel, and the parcel that is across from Mission from Spokane Community College. It also has the K station in Cheney, which is directly across the street from a rail line. There is a real opportunity in the next 10 to 20 years to expand transit service to North Idaho through the use of commuter rail service and through the Rathburn Prairie, which, as we all know, has grown quite dramatically. There's actually opportunity to provide commuter rail service all the way from Cheney to Sandpoint, and by the county purchasing this property for parking, this isn't for athletics facilities. Let's be clear, this is for parking. It would foreclose that opportunity in the future, and I really don't feel it's in Spokane County's or STA's best interest to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. So those are all that I have signed up for our open public forum. Is there anyone? Like a noise, Rebecca. I'm like, we're all jumpy now. Is there anyone else who would like to speak at our open public forum? I've got room for a couple more people. Is there anyone online? See no one online, no one in the audience. Second or third and final call for anyone wishing to testify at our open public forum. Again, seeing no one online and no one in the audience, I will close the open public forum and look to my fellow commissioners.
Madam Chair, I move to approve items 3, 4, 5, and all sub-items as presented on today's agenda.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for items 3, 4, 5, and all sub-items under those as presented on today's agenda. Any further discussion on any of those items? And do we still have Commissioner Waldrop?
I'm here.
Okay, you're there. Okay.
Sorry, I was having trouble with my camera. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. We can't see you, but
I know, I can't see myself either.
oh, there we
and
go.
Then Commissioner Jordan said all he could see was my water bottle, so that wasn't good.
there we go. Do you have any further discussion on any of these items?
No.
I
Okay.
can just real quickly, one of the items on here is to,
Which item?
oh, it's a long list.
It is.
I'm talking about the Maddie's Place.
So 5.
item.
That's 5D.
5D, there it is, executing interlocal agreement with the city. I just wanted to say I'm excited to support this item in particular. I think all the commissioners have been to Maddie's Place to visit and kind of seen firsthand the amazing work that they do to help newborns who've been exposed to substances and help get them off on the right foot in life, and as well as support parents and really try and make a difference early on for those kids. I think that's really important. We've all committed strong resources through our opioid settlement dollars. The state also, legislature gave another piece of bridge funding this last session, which I'm grateful for. And I think this is just another example of good partnership with the city. I thank them for joining the county in this investment. We have a number of partnerships with the city as it relates to opioid response, which I think are good for the region. This is another example of that. And then we remain hopeful going forward that the state health department will assist in providing some of the ongoing operational dollars. So I think we'll all be working together on that going forward, but happy to support that item and grateful to Justin and his team in community services for continuing to be a strong regional leader on effective responses to the opioid crisis.
Yes, thank you. And there will be a press release that goes out on that
Very
item
good.
today as well. So thank you, our team, Martha Liu over there. So with that, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of items 3, 4, 5, and all sub-items, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, motion passes unanimously. So then that's going to take us to item 6, which is a public hearing, and I believe, so it's a public hearing in the matter of amending Spokane County Code Section 1.14.030 as recommended by the Spokane County Noxious Weed Control Board regarding the level of assessment for certain land classifications for the purpose of controlling noxious weeds within Spokane County. And Dave Munt, I believe you're going to be speaking to this for us.
Yeah, I've got a couple people here, or one other person.
Okay, and if you'd like to enter.
Again, my name's David Munt. I'm the coordinator for the Spokane County Noxious Weed Board. I have Thurman Johnson, who is our field specialist, and then we also have Paul Pewitt back here, who is our chairman of our board of the Noxious Weed Board. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to submit this proposal to you. What we're looking at is increasing our assessment on certain land classifications. We spent a great deal of time talking about this and researching to try to make it as equitable as possible across the county. We held a public hearing on May 21st, and then subsequently after that, we had a public meeting briefing with you on June 24th, at which time we supplied quite a bit of this presentation. So we've tried to really slim this down. And right now, I'm going to let Thurman take over and just give you a very brief overview of our goals and visions of where we want to take our program. Yeah, I guess I could touch on the proposal itself. What we're looking at is raising the Class 1 land from the 12 cents to 15 cents per parcel. And the reason these numbers are that way, Class 1 is really what we consider crop type ground, production agriculture type ground. Class 2 is really all other type of property. And back in 1995, when I first started here, probably 85% of our time was spent on Class 1 land, farmland. As of today, probably 90+% is spent on Class 2 land because of the new subdivisions, smaller properties. For the most part, of course, farmers are taking care of their noxious weed problems. So we're trying to make it as equitable as possible. The Class 3, the zero assessed, just to touch on that, is government-owned parcels, cemetery districts, irrigation districts, and the such. The government-owned parcels, the reason we are choosing not to assess them is we feel it's passing money around within the government. We're hoping that each entity, whether it means the county, city parks, city streets, whoever, take that money and actually put it toward on-the-ground weed control versus just pushing it administratively around. So we've left that at zero assessed. So Thurman, I'll let you take over.
And we can go to the next slide. Good afternoon, Commissioners. So as has already been stated, we are proposing to have our assessment updated from its current state, which was last updated in 2014. It is our assessment that under the current rates, we will not be able to maintain our current level of service to Spokane County residents. We also would like to point to some recent accomplishments by our office, which again were included in the past presentation, and in the interest of time, I won't take us through all of it, but some recent significant noxious weed detections and response efforts that underline a need for a healthy noxious weed program, and ultimately, guiding our requested adjustments is need for retaining qualified and experienced staff. So our office currently relies on a fairly robust enforcement and monitoring program, but we believe that a healthy noxious weed program is multifaceted. And while we do have small initiatives and projects that have touched on partnerships, outreach, assistance, training, those other facets that are listed up there, as Spokane County continues to grow, and as the weed challenges that face the county continue to evolve, we believe that bolstering those other facets of the office are needed to continue to protect Spokane County residents and protect the economy of the county as well. So as I spoke on briefly, one of the central needs for our office is the ability to retain qualified and experienced staff, but also to employ them on a year-round basis. We currently rely on a largely seasonal staff model. projects, be it specific weed-focused projects or community engagement projects, training, what have you, often rely on a year-round presence. They rely on people that can see those projects to completion, A to Z, and maintain communication with project partners, members of the community on a year-round basis as well. And so having staff year-round is entirely necessary for that. We also aim to have some level of funding for dedicated projects, and do want to underline that having dedicated project funding opens us up to seeking larger amounts of outside grant funding by enabling us to put up larger amounts of match funding, thereby bringing in additional outside dollars to the county. And then ultimately in implementing specific weed control or land enhancement projects, we find that we need specialized tools and equipment, not just for our staff, but also for making available to residents of Spokane County. And so with that, we just returned to the slide that's reviewing the proposed adjustments, but that does largely conclude our remarks.
Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Can you just kind of summarize the importance of having that healthy noxious weed program, and if we didn't have it, what would be the risk to the residents?
Certainly. So noxious weeds ultimately are harmful weeds. Noxious just means that they harm us in some way. This can be directly to our health, the health of our pets, our livestock, et cetera. It can also be harming our landscapes through outcompeting desirable vegetation, effects that they can have on valuable infrastructure. We have noxious weeds that can destroy underground sewage infrastructure, destroy building foundations, lower property values as a result. And oftentimes we have noxious weeds that do a combination of all of those things. And so no individual noxious weed is necessarily impacting a specific subset of Spokane County. The county residents collectively feel the impacts of noxious weeds across many facets of life, be it the agricultural productivity of the lands outside of Spokane and the other municipalities, or the something as simple as a homeowner needing to undertake a costly repair job at their home, their place of residence, and like I said, as well as potential risks to the health of people, animals, and of course our wildlife. The consequences on our wildlife also have implications for recreation, which is a significant economy in Spokane County, and so across the board, noxious weeds impact us all.
And what would be some particularly concerning health-related risks, either for humans or pets, just as an example?
Gotcha. We have noxious weeds. I'll use myrtle spurge as an example. Myrtle spurge is a noxious weed that is spreading currently in Spokane County. It gets introduced through former ornamental plantings. The sap of myrtle spurge is caustic. If it gets on your skin, it will burn your skin. It can leave pretty painful rashes. If it were to get into one's eyes, it could cause blindness. It has a close relative, leafy spurge. Leafy spurge also has similarly toxic sap, except it invades rangelands most often, or forest land. And so for, the risk is still there of getting that sap on oneself, but when it grows in the abundance that leafy spurge grows in, you can have grazing animals that end up with their face so swollen that their eyes are shut from the sap getting all over their face as they're trying to just graze. And so the productivity is lost there. So those are two really good examples, but we also have poison hemlock growing throughout the county. That's something that if consumed in sufficient quantities could just simply kill someone, if not make them very ill.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My question is the way the info, and I'm sorry, Rebecca, could you put the last slide back up? The one, my question is why the data is presented in the way it is, where you have the 15 cents a parcel, but it's a $4 minimum. What does the 15 cents equate to if there's a $4 minimum? So I guess I don't understand why it's presented in cents when there's a flat rate like that.
The classes are, the way they were set up in the original, back in the 80s, was each classification had a per acre charge because everything was really based on per acre. And so we've been trying to keep that per acre charge, 12 cents an acre. I mean, you do the math to get to the.
Oh, so is that supposed to say acre, not parcel, like it says on your slide? Is it?
Yes, it is supposed to say per acre.
Okay.
Good catch, good catch.
That makes sense. Okay.
That makes more sense.
That answers my question. Thank you.
Very good, yes.
Apologies.
No, that's good. That's why we were wanting to ask the question to make sure we have the
Yes.
answer right. Is there any other questions before I open up for public forum? I think, so I do just want to note that if people want to go back and look, your presentation was June 24th, was when you presented to the Board of County Commissioners. And then it sounds like Mr. Amacio followed up with the recommendations on 7/15 to the board. So just so if someone wants to go back and look, they have that. And then I will just say that I do think this is an important thing. Since your presentation back in June, I have seen more noxious weeds now that I'm looking at what they are and which ones that seem pretty but are now, you're like, oh, that is not as pretty as it should be, I guess. I don't know. So I understand that what you do is important to our county. So I just want to say thank you for that. So with that then, you can sit down for the moment and we'll open it up for public testimony. Or did somebody? Oh, Commissioner Waldorf raised her hand, so.
Oh, I just wanted to agree with you, Chair Cooney, that since the presentation, I've been noticing a lot more about the different weeds, and I do think our community's grown so much. We have so many more people. We have so many more needs that I appreciate you guys coming forward with this proposal to help control and be able to respond to people in the community. So I appreciate you putting together this proposal for the community.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so this is an open public forum item, so I will open it up to anyone that would like to speak on item 6A as just presented. Second call for anyone wishing to testify on item 6A. So Paul, I'm going to look to you as the chair of the board. Do you want to speak to it? Okay, that would be, I think that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Paul Puick, Chairman of the Board. And one of the things we really were trying to do as a Board of Directors is to help the Weed Board become a resource for our community. Not only with the enforcement that we can do to control the weeds, but the other programs that Thurman presented, cooperating with other departments, the general public, to make it more of a resource to get those weeds controlled, is to get everybody on board. So that's where the assessment is going to go, is to develop those programs.
Great, thank you very much. And then just to note, the assessment hasn't changed since 2014, so. Okay, this will be third and final call for anyone wishing to testify on item 6A. With that, seeing no one online and no one else in the audience, I will close the public testimony.
Madam Chair, move to approve public hearing item number 6A as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve item 6A as presented. Any further discussion? Oh, Commissioner Jordan?
Just for the record, wanted to note, I was looking at the public notice, and it does, it lists the assessment level as per acre. So it was a good catch, difference between the PowerPoint and the actual notice.
Okay, very good, thank you. Seeing no other discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 I
Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. Thank you for all the hard work that you guys do at the Weed Control Board as well, helping be that advising board. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, that concludes everything that we have on our agenda today. I do have a miscellaneous item that we are coming back from earlier today on the Council of Governments, having our Council of Governments at the opening of the fair. It does look like we have people that have come up with ideas for the agenda and help that will be coming for helping Brenda out and myself to make this happen. And so we will collectively put together a Council of Governments before the fair. I don't know if anyone has any other thoughts or ideas. I would say, well, Commissioner Kearns and I will talk further, but anyone that has any additional ideas for the agenda, please email them to me today. So that way we can just get this planned and put on the agenda for the opening of the fair. Okay,
Happy to help as well.
thank you, appreciate it. I know Commissioner Waldorf, you said you would be happy to help and have your assistant help
Yes,
earlier this
yes,
morning.
Mary and I would be happy to help. I know it takes a lot of work, so I appreciate that we can make it a group effort.
Very good, thank you. So then I will look to Mr. Simmons and Mr. Folsom because I do believe we have a closed session.
We have one closed session, Commissioners, for under labor negotiations.
Okay,
No executive session items this afternoon.
this morning was long enough. Okay, thank you very much. So we will conclude the meeting and we will go into a closed session and see everybody. We will take a recess for our summer recess for the next 2 weeks. Doesn't mean that we aren't still working as commissioners, but we will not have a formal meetings until for 2 weeks. So we'll see everybody back in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.